was Joey B gave me one more chance. He gave me one opportunity. So you guys want to mix it up real bad? Then we're going to have ourselves a tag team match. I guess we should bring his partner out.
Let me take a selfie.
They are the team of the unpredictable JGeorge and the Selfie Superstar, Too Hot, Steve Scott. And their opponents. And his partner,
I cannot believe this. This is our main event of Extreme Heat 2016. It is JGeorge and the Selfie Superstar Steve Scott versus Wrestling's Man of Steel Chris Steeler and El Torito.
What is this? You know, earlier in the day, I saw Joey B post on his Facebook page that El Torito would be here tonight. I thought he'd be selling autographs, fighting kids kids in the parking lot. I don't know, but now we've got a bull in the main event.
We say it over and over again, cards subject to change, and change it has. El Torito and Chris Steeler against Steve Scott and JGeorge.
And JGeorge demanding to be put back on the show after what he calls a miscarriage of justice. And Joey B put him back in the match. How does that make you feel, Rob? How's that make you feel?
I'll be honest, I'm not terribly. Joey B and I do not always see eye to eye. I tend to think that's what makes Warriors of Wrestling great, that difference of opinion. But you know what? I will love nothing more than to see JGeorge get his teeth knocked in one more time tonight.
Well, you know what? If you want to be a cuck, be a cuck. But Steve Scott and Chris Steeler starting things off. Steeler isolating Scott in the middle of the ring.
Working his way into a headlock. You grab a guy any which way you can. And Chris Steeler spin him around until he's able to get the headlock. Now fighting his way out of a headlock of Steve Scott's own. Fighting him off. Look, maybe with that spin, the momentum taking him in there. I was thought maybe you might see a forearm, might see a knee, but instead eats the shoulder from Steve Scott. Oh, a shoulder of his own.
And Steve Scott was talking with his partner, JGeorge.
Oh, atomic drop by Chris Steeler.
And timing, usually not an issue with Steve Scott's selfies. A little bit of a problem here tonight, miscommunication. Causing a lot of miscues for the Selfie Superstar. I like Steve Scott. You may not like him. I heard you say bad things about him.
Oh, nice crossbody there from Chris Steeler. Outsmarting Steve Scott once. One time in him in the corner. Oh!
Clubbing blow. Oh, that had to hurt. And now you got Chris Steeler back. You're going to have Jason Cross and got Karloff coming back next month for Ultimate good looks.
Steve Scott's coming up a little short. Chris Steeler shoots the half Nelson there into a pin. And now, Chris Steeler looking to take some selfies.
That's theft. He just stole that. That's more than $700. Now we're getting into a felony. That's a felony, Blatt.
A felony? That's a selfie, my friend.
Well, any photo with Chris Steeler is kind of criminal. Have you seen the man?
Looks nigh fine to me.
You put his face in some batter, you can make gorilla cookies.
Oh wait, here comes El Torito, and here comes JGeorge.
And JGeorge grabbing Steve Scott's jacket. And Torito, the crowd behind El Torito. But you know what's interesting here? El Torito in another life was a superstar in Mexico. JGeorge just coming back from a sojourn in Mexico. You gotta wonder if JGeorge may be able to pull out some tricks that El Torito doesn't know.
Absolutely, JGeorge's training in Mexico would absolutely give him, if not an advantage, at slight edge.
He also was voted Newbridge, New Jersey's #1 Toreador 6 years running.
I don't think that is a thing.
That is a thing. That is a thing. Mayor Ziegler awards the best Toreador every year, and JGeorge got it 7 years running. Before that, it was the lead singer of Mother 13. It was a weird night.
That is a weirdly specific fact. And now, what is JGeorge doing? I'll tell you what.
Homage to one of Mike Myers' better films.
JGeorge it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea to underestimate El Torito. Oh, a drop kick. JGeorge goes down. A bit of a spin, a drop kick, and JGeorge is in the corner.
I think we all got a little bit of motion sickness there, Rob.
Just a little bit. And Steve Scott now is in. And now, JGeorge controlling El Torito in the corner for Steve Scott. Steve Scott taking some time. What is he?
He's got to take a selfie.
No, he doesn't. What he has to do
Yes,
is
he
wrestle
does.
this match.
He actually is mandated by the Apple Corporation to take 3,000 selfies a day. He's about 20 shy.
What is he? I don't understand the obsession here.
All right, I like that one.
A shot in the kisser from El Torito, and now chopping down the legs of Steve Scott right underneath. Oh!
Gore! Gore! Gore!
Different kind of gore. And now a drop kick to Steve Scott. Steve Scott is down in the corner.
It's like an Ewok beating up Luke Skywalker. This isn't fair.
He's up to the bottom rope.
Does he think that the iPhone is a god?
Springboard arm drag. And El Torito has got Steve Scott down. And now he's got everyone wants to take a selfie.
Does the bull know how to work a phone?
The bull knows how to work the phone, I'll say that much. Looks like he's taking a lot of photos.
Olay! I believe he's going to use that for his Tinder. How do you say supma in Spanish?
All right there, that is enough.
ASL.
And now on the ropes, and JGeorge back. JGeorge using the referee's distraction to his advantage. What is he thinking here?
Maybe a reverse crab?
Yep. He's got the bull and a crab.
And now... I don't know if they train that in Arena Mexico, but it's effective.
And now Steve Scott is in. JGeorge, no reaction to his whatever he had to say there. Talking about rudos, traditional bad guys in Mexico. He trained with Archangel not too long ago, down in CMLL.
He was down in a honky-tonk down in Mexico. And now Torito
fighting to get over to Chris Steeler, but Steve Scott preventing him.
Great strategy by Scott and JGeorge. They are of one mind. Drops the elbow. JGeorge actually trying to convert Steve Scott into Fontanetics, a new religion that he's been studying quite in-depthly.
Torito still has fight in him yet.
Gut wrenches him. The power and the strength of JGeorge. Look at the strength of JGeorge. This is something incredible. You know, Jason Karloff calls himself a power lifter, but he can't throw a man around like JGeorge does.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. A ridiculous statement. And now JGeorge in a fireman's carry position.
No. Don't do it. They'll think he's an action figure and take him home.
El Torito and JGeorge over for a 2. And El Torito is down again.
Debilitating kick there, Rob.
Absolutely. I'm almost out of words with the... Wait a second, Chris Steeler. Chris Steeler is in. Has control of this matchup now. A nearly fresh Chris Steeler. A kick to the gut and a knee lift. Oh, swinging neck breaker. Has the cover here. This could be the end. And only a 2 in the main event here at Extreme Heat 2016.
So close and yet so far, Commissioner Blatt. You gotta wonder what's gonna happen next.
This whole night has been full of surprises, including this main event. All of this main event.
Look at the athleticism.
A flip and an arm drag from Chris Steeler off the top rope.
Gotta wonder if El Torito taught him that one.
Oh, that running chop. And a running chop again from Chris Steeler. Steve Scott almost on his way, all his way over to his partner. And it looks like he may have gotten that tag, but Chris Steeler didn't see it.
Up over onto the apron now, and Scott misses. And now the duo of Scott and JGeorge.
Wait a second here. El Torito's up on the top rope. Cross body to JGeorge.
Only a one there, Blatt.
To accommodate El Torito, this match in Lucha Libre tag rules.
But Steeler back in now the legal man.
The referee's discretion at play here, allowing those tags in and out in the traditional style of Lucha Libre. And now Steve Scott is in. JGeorge and Steve Scott have made an effective team thus far tonight.
Selfie Bulldog.
A selfie bulldog, as you call it, from Steve Scott. A nonchalant pin. Not easily Chris Steeler kicking out.
Well, you know, that's going to get him about like 50 likes on Instagram. Are you on the gram?
I am gramming, sir.
Ooh. Gramming to a Grammy. Steve Scott story. It's the book I'm writing.
And now JGeorge on Chris Steeler.
Only a two.
Only a two. Very close there.
Hard work here.
Chris Steeler making JGeorge go the distance. JGeorge looks like going for a sunset flip powerbomb, able to get Chris Steeler into the corner.
And look, that got him right in the back of the neck.
Right exactly where JGeorge wanted him. What is...
Coast to coast! Oh, come on. You know, I like that. You know, for a second I was a little indignant because I wanted to see someone jump across the ring, but that was smart.
I don't think the man can. Wait, he's got his feet up in the ropes.
Oh, he's just stretching. He's just stretching. That's fine. It still counts. Still counts.
And the crowd here rallying for a tag to El Torito. Steve Scott going for another selfie bulldog. Thrown off instead. Eats the super kick out on his feet.
I think he might be roaming now, though, Rob. I think he's out of coverage.
No service for Steve Scott here right now. And here comes JGeorge as Steve Scott goes into airplane mode.
Crossbody.
Steve Scott is there to stop El Torito. JGeorge going for one clean shot. Instead, Chris Steeler downs Steve Scott. El Torito now. JGeorge.
Look at the strike to Torito.
Whoa!
Sends him over. Torito bomb. It's over.
And there it is, the main event of Extreme Heat 2016, Chris Steeler and El Torito successful against JGeorge and the Selfie Superstar, Steve Scott. We will see you next time here from Warriors of Wrestling. In the meantime, I've been Commissioner Rob Blatt alongside Matthew Ryan Shapiro. Like us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. Check out those snaps on Snapchat. And also, we'll see you next time at Warriors of Wrestling.